Funding for the production of Folks is provided in part by the Friends of LPB.
Up front today, we'll be telling you some of what the Edwards administration is doing to get more minority input into state government. Our one-to-one segment today features Jimmy Wynn, also known as the Toy Cannon. He played Major League Baseball with the Houston Astros as well as other teams. Genevieve Stewart will have a feature on a modeling and charm school in Baton Rouge as we continue our month-long look at minority-owned and operated businesses. I'm Rob Hinton, and we'll have those stories and more today on Folks.
Everybody says folks.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Folks. Last week, we told you about a history-making appointment in the Edwards administration. That appointment being Esperanza Scortino, the first Spanish-speaking person to serve as assistant to the governor on Hispanic-American Affairs. Well, this week, the governor made another history-making move, a move that will hopefully generate more minority input into state government. And that history being the announcement by Governor Edwards of two new commissions. One commission on Hispanic-American Affairs and the other on Asian American Affairs. Governor Edwards outlined the purpose of the two commissions.
We are creating these two commissions to do a number of things. Number one, for you to give us some input between now and a year from now as to what we might be able to do to better the conditions of the Hispanic Americans and the Asian Americans living in Louisiana, and to help promote international trade between the countries south of us and the countries east of us in either the Asian continent or the South American continent, and generally to promote a better understanding and relationship between the state of Louisiana, this country, and the country of origins of the 255,000 people whom you will represent.
Last week, we introduced you to Esperanza Scortino, the governor's assistant on Hispanic-American Affairs, and we talked to her about the concerns of Louisiana's Hispanic Americans.
Well, I guess because the jobs. Second is the necessity to learn the language. I see some doctors sometimes. They work in grocery stores. But first of all, they need the test in the Louisiana. You know, this is a lot of, they don't know the English language. And you don't know the English language, you cannot pass a test. So we facing a problem of a learning. And it's not every place, you know, like we call in Delgado, this and that. It just, they want so much money a month. And these people who work at $3.35 an hour, there's no way they can afford after. So this is one of the projects. I would like to have a good learning, you know, educational program for a bilingual, you know, a person who speaks Spanish learning English. Some ones, they're going to learn English just to find a job. Some other ones are more professional, you know. So this will be something very good. Housing is another tremendous problem. It's tremendous, but there we are, blacks and Hispanics, and we are minorities. We are people who really are in need. We have the same problem. But for some reason or another one, we still have it on the resentment. I can see maybe the black feel, well, the Hispanic come along and they're going to take away my bread and butter. This is not true. I think and the housing, if you try to put 50 families Hispanic and 50 family black, some kind of way, it's some kind of fighting. And I really believe intelligently, we leaders of the community, we supposed to get the black and Hispanic together. It's so important, and I tell you why. And the way I look in, the Republican Party is going on a white. And they're going to leave the Democrats as the minorities. And if the minorities don't have intelligence enough to get all together, believe it, poor people is going to suffer. No you, no me, not the ones we already make it in life, or we try to make it, the little poor, the poor people. And that's the one that really concerns me.
This is Steve Lam, and he wears many hats in state government, two of which are Deputy Secretary for the Department of Urban and Community Affairs and Assistant to the Governor on Asian American Affairs.
Asian Americans, particularly with the Vietnamese community, who are the latest comers, comprise of about 20,000 or more of them. And this is a group that really need the education, the assistance and services and program of the state. And being a new constituents, and they're not aware of most of the program and services that can impact them or assist them. So this commission will try to do some of that. Other than the fact that most Asians, by and large, have not been involved with the state, civically or politically or economically. So this is a means to bring them into the Louisiana mainstream. And it's one of our major objectives, is to bring the Asian American into the Louisiana mainstream. Now, other than the fact that this commission also would impact down the road some promoting the international trade between the Asian countries and the Asian Americans who live in Louisiana, because most of them immigrated to this country, and particularly to Louisiana, in the last 10 years. So they still have a lot of relatives at the Keens who are in business, who are in the economic structure in those regions, which can, because of this linkage, can bring about better economic development for the state of Louisiana.
So will the two commissions be working together?
Yes and no. Yes, in the sense that we are together. We are housed under the Minority Affairs Office, which is headed by Mr. A.Z. Young. No, in terms of the daily operation, their specific concern and so forth and so on, they got to work independently according to their needs and according to the problems and what have you. Now, might want to also bring out another point that is part of the objective of this commission is to provide information to the community. At the same time, this commission will make recommendations to the governor, whatever policy and services and programs that might be needed in order to suit the specific concern or problem of the Asian Americans in Louisiana. Other than the fact also that this commission will continue to upgrade as well as to take inventory of the population, and also to seek ways and means to meet those needs.
That was Steve Lam, Assistant to the Governor on Asian American Affairs. We'll be following the activities of the commissions and keeping you abreast of their progress. This month, we are taking a look at several minority-owned and operated businesses. Genevieve Stewart is here with us today with a report that I believe will charm us all. Genevieve?
Rob, dreams and ambitions of running one's own business can come to fruition, as in the case of Ida Hall of Ibelco Personal Development and Modeling School in Baton Rouge. Her dreams of becoming a model were embedded at the age of 5 when she started as a pixie model. Well, 4 modeling schools later, her ambitions took foundation when she completed the famous Pre-Cola DeVore modeling course in Washington, D.C. At the age of 18, her career began as a model.
And my career began then. I modeled professionally with the Pre-Cola DeVore agency, and she was linked up with the Grace Del Marco agency and Ophelia DeVore in New York City, and so we worked in collaboration with the schools there.
Ida Hall became a runway model and commercial model for magazine advertisements. She traveled extensively, posing and walking her way through the world of fashion and products. Remember the silhouetted feather hat and the famous shaped Coke bottle? or the smooth, delicate hands enjoying a Pall Mall cigarette. Trivia buffs will surely recall the Calvert Cigarette Girls. In spite of the famous and glamorous footlights of modeling, teaching sparked Ida Hall's interest in developing her own school.
Because of my background in working with Percola DeVore, back in my mind, it was just one of my greatest ambitions to open the doors of Ida Collins Hall's school one day. And after meeting my husband, and he being from the state of Louisiana, I knew that perhaps it would be done here.
After 10 years as a successful model on the East Coast, Ida Collins married Dr. Robert Hall and moved to Louisiana. The next phase of her career began as a fashion consultant. She began coordinating and commentating over 100 fashion shows and winning national awards for her work with youth. Then Ibelco was founded in 1967. But times have changed, and with this generation of jeans-wearing unisex dressing, is there still a demand for learning personal development and feminine deportment?
Genevieve, you would actually be surprised. These kids today want to be on stage. When I was coming along, I wanted to be a movie star. Every young woman wanted to be a movie star. Today, every girl wants to be a model. And when they walk in this door, seemingly they're ready to become a model. And they just accept whatever you put before them.
And put it to her students she does. Ida Hall puts them through the paces of hairstyling, personality projection, and makeup application.
Lift your chin up and tilt your head, Miss Carter. Tilt your head toward me. Good. Now take your hand, the other hand, and tilt the eye. Yeah, pull it, push it up a little higher. Good. Now you look like you're working. Your hand should be up, the other hand should be up just a tiny bit, like it's assisting, like you're not satisfied. Am I going to do this or something? Follow your face when you're doing makeup? No. The main thing is to keep your chin out.
Bet your ass.
And no, just to be more, just be very natural. Keep your hair off of your face so that the makeup can show. If you're going to do makeup, you will need to remove the hair from your face so that your face will be in focus, unless you must wear bangs because of your forehead.
As a licensed cosmetologist, Hall also teaches her students skin analysis and color analysis and coordinating their makeup and wardrobe. Walking and pivoting properly is just one phase of her instruction. She goes headlong for developing the total person, the complete picture of attitude and appearance.
Work with their styling their hair more becomingly, coordinate their wardrobes more professionally, and according to color, according to their skin tone, so that they'll wear the proper colors. And most of all, in wardrobing, to study their body lines, so that they will understand how to dress their own body. It cuts it in half, doesn't it? Yeah. Would you take off your belt a minute? And let's see if she has any more height or what it's going to do to her. Let's see what happens to her. And of course the dress is loose. Can I take one? Would you come up and pinch this in for us? You put your hands down. Pinch that in just about like that. How does she appear now? Taller. Taller. And that belt divided her in half, and she has her height from the waistline down and the waistline up. Let's put the belt back on her. Okay, you go for it. Now, doesn't she appear longer from the waistline down and very short from the waistline? She's divided in half. What is your height?
5 1/4 inch.
5 1/4 inch. Are you considered taller or short?
Short.
So a short person should wear what size of a belt?
Thin.
A very thin belt. So that I think that she could have worn that dress better if the belt had been just about an inch wide. But however, doesn't it look very becoming to her?
Although Ibelco is a minority-managed business, it has been successful in attracting students from all segments of the community. Ida Hall firmly believes that when the highest quality product is offered, the clients will patronize the business.
When the students come in, they'll look around, and the parents will talk with me, and then they are convinced, after they have talked with me, that this is where their daughter or their son should be. Many of them will say, can we check the Better Business Bureau on you? And can you give us a couple students where we could talk to several students that graduated from your school? And we do this, and they'll call up and say, everything is fine. We want your daughter to, our daughter to enroll into the school.
Ibelco's success has been sound and steadily growing. She has secured models for TV commercials such as Godshaw's, for nationally circulated catalogs such as Wilson's, and department store fashion shows, Kmart most recently.
We had 15 models to model for Kmart's at Sherwood Forest store, and they did a very extremely good job there. They were all newcomers. Some of them had 2 or 3 classes, and we put them out to feel what modeling was all about. And would you be surprised, they allowed them to make 3 changes. So they really got some training while they were out there doing that show. Very often, they only change 1 time in a show, but this time they made 3 changes, and they got the feel of what modeling was all about, and they were very excited. They couldn't wait for another show. When is the next show?
Even if one has no aspirations for modeling, Ibelco's personal development classes can help polish the total appearance. Ida Hall's knowledgeable charms are hard to resist, even for this reporter. After 30 years of teaching, she is still inspired by the challenge of a new face, a new student. For her, the end result is gratifying.
When I see a model, a student that comes in that needs the whole works, and we begin the program with her, and you gradually see her changing. And when she gets down to the last class, there is a total picture of something different, that she's projecting another person that did not walk in the doors of Ibelco.
30 years ago, Ida Hall pursued her dreams of modeling and teaching. Today, through Ibelco School, she is extending the arms of charm to what may be the next Iman or Christy Brinkley of tomorrow. She is certainly giving many youngsters the self-confidence they need for a good start in life.
Time now for our one-to-one segment, which this week features a retired baseball player from the major leagues who hails from my hometown of Cincinnati, Ohio. His name is Jimmy Wynn, also known as the Toy Cannon, and he now lives and works in Baton Rouge. Now, his baseball career began in the early 60s, and he retired in 1978. He recently talked to us about his baseball years. Jimmy, first of all, tell us how you developed your interest in Major League Baseball.
This came from my hometown, Cincinnati. I always did want to become a Major League Baseball player, but I didn't have the necessary tools, so I talked with my father, and he told me to go ahead and do whatever is necessary to become a Major League ball player. So with his help, with his guidance, I became one.
Who was your idol as a boy?
And my father, really. But being serious about it, I think Frankie Robinson was my #1 idol at that particular time, because he took time out to come by the house, say hello, gave me a brand new glove, brought me in the clubhouse. So basically, I would say Frankie Robinson was my idol.
What led to your decision to play in the major leagues?
Well, all of my other friends wanted to do something else, chase women and do this. But I felt like if I wanted to be someone or go someplace, baseball was the game for me. After working hard and getting a chance to try out for the Cincinnati Reds, my dream came true.
You played for the Reds?
In the minor league system.
In the minor league?
Yeah, Tampa, Florida, Class D baseball.
What year was that?
That was way back in 1962.
Okay, how'd you get to Houston?
Well, at the time, Houston was a upcoming franchise along with the New York Mets. The Astros, the Colt 45s, then came into existence in 1962 as an expansion team. And upon getting a franchise in Houston, certain ball players had to be removed from certain teams. And I got my break by landing with Houston.
Think back to the first time you stepped up to the plate in the Astrodome. What was it like for you?
Butterflies. scared to death. 20-year-old kid in the Dome, the 8th one of the world. In 1965, I was scared to death. But after I took that first swing, the butterflies just completely left, and everything just broke down right to normal.
You were in Houston about 10 years. How would you describe those years?
Up and down for me. A couple of times I was hitting 195 with 5 home runs. Next time I come back and hit 32 home runs and drive in 100 runs. Next year, a lot of injuries. But I believe that my best years 1967, 68, and 69, when I broke and tied a Houston Astro record, which it stands now with hitting 37 home runs in one season.
Okay, in 1967, you hit 37 home runs in the Astrodome, a park where it's supposed to be difficult to hit home runs. How did you do it?
I had a lot of Tangerine tonics and a lot of beautiful women and a lot of hard work.
How did you earn the nickname the Toy Cannon?
Well, as you can take a look at me, I'm 5'9", and when I played baseball, I weighed 165 pounds. And just for a guy of my size, my stature, to hit a ball out of the dome, the nickname was given to me by a sports writer named John Wilson.
Looking back over your major league career, what do you consider your most memorable moment?
One, for signing the contract to play with the Cincinnati Reds. 2, to have the only ball player, me, to hit 3 consecutive home runs in the dome. 3rd, I think, is playing in a World Series with the Los Angeles Dodgers in 1974. I think every ball player looks for that championship season, and I think that was my #1 memory, just playing in the World Series.
Recently, you played in the Old Timers game in Houston. What was that like?
Oh, like I was telling you earlier, I just got back from Houston early this morning, and it was really beautiful. We had some of the old ball players at the original Coke 45s, the Houston Astros, come back, revisit. We wine and dine, the owners and everything. It was really beautiful. We had Mickey Mantle there, Joe Morgan, Bob Estramani, myself. It was like a 4-day event, and I thoroughly enjoyed it.
Today we hear a lot about drugs and pro sports. Can you share with us your thoughts on the subject?
We didn't have, at that particular time, $50,000 was a lot of money back in the 60s and the early 70s. And, of course, we did not have anybody that, made that much money to get involved in drugs, cocaine, dope, and things like that. But now the kids are in that society where they're making $1 million a year, and the people that are involved in these drugs are easily influenced. They're constantly around them. When I played, we loved the game of baseball. We thoroughly loved it. Now it's a little different. It's a business now. It's a racket. Back in the 60s, it was a game.
Okay. What advice would you give to a kid today who is considering a career in Major League Baseball?
Always have confidence in yourself, for #1, regardless of whether you're big, small, in between. If you have the confidence in yourself, you can do it. You can go a long way. If you're 5'9", 5'8", please don't let nobody discourage you in what you want to do. If you have the heart and the confidence in yourself, you can go a long way.
That was Jimmy Wynn, the Toy Cannon. Time now for our Something Extra segment, which today features some wonderful works of black artists.
Art has been described as many things in the world's cause and effect relationships. Is food for the soul, soothing to the spirit, is beautiful architecture, is a visual feast, and an inspiration. Well, recently, City National Bank in Baton Rouge created a visual feast, and the effect was magnificent. The bank honored Louisiana folk artist Clementine Hunter in a 3-week exhibit of her works, as well as 4 other very talented artists. Clementine Hunter is considered by art critics to be Louisiana's foremost primitive artist. She is noted for depicting the simple country life with dignity. Through her attention to details of human behavior, Hunter's humor also comes through. Frank Hayden's reputation is rapidly reaching international renown. His sculptings are prominently displayed in many of Louisiana's commercial buildings. Malika Favorite's works are receiving more attention. Her most recent exhibitions have been in New Orleans at the Contemporary Arts Center, among others. This series in red seems to relate a story of family life. Emerson Bell has returned to his hometown after winning international and national awards, including the Kennedy Center for the Performing Arts in Washington, D.C. The exhibit's observers felt the life-size and lifelike metal sculptings of Al Laverne captured one's imagination and certainly attention. This sculpting greeted the City National Bank's customers for several days on the mall outside of the building. Children touched him, pedestrians photographed him, and drivers waved at the chicken vendor. Feeling of remorse on the part of bank personnel when the exhibit closed, because for 3 weeks a life-size metal sculpting of Lucy the cow occupied this spot. Well, when the exhibit closed, Lucy was given a befitting farewell by the bank employees, a champagne going-away party.
Well, that's it for this week. Thanks for watching. We'll be back next week with more topics of interest, and we hope to see you then. Bye-bye.
Funding for the production of Folks is provided in part by the Friends of LPB.